Hello, it's Bernadette. All right, we're going to pick up from yesterday's lesson on manifesting, but I want to share this. So give me just a second. I'm going to give you guys a minute to get here. But some questions came up from yesterday's live stream about the difference between surrender and letting go, and avoidance. So we will talk about that. I've had quite a few. It's been repeating, like people are asking me different things about the difference. So I want to clear that up for you guys. I know it can be a little bit confusing. What is the difference, right? So if you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, you can always go back. I did a live stream last night about manifesting and lessons in manifesting, and it was a good one and provoked some questions. So hi Sita, hi Lisa, hi Janine, hi Mark, hi Carmen. All right. So let's chat, shall we? Yesterday I was telling you guys, giving you some tips on manifesting and kind of what that whole thing, what's necessary in that place of clearly creating something and getting out of the way and, getting into a place of faith instead of being in this place of fear. But some good questions came up, right? Like someone messaged me and I had a conversation with them this morning about live stream last night. And how do I know? The question was, how do I know that I'm not avoiding, right? I'm not avoiding something versus I'm letting it go or I'm releasing it. And there is a difference, right? And sometimes it's a subtle difference. And sometimes our ego doesn't want us to know the difference because the ego likes to be in that place of keeping you sort of powerless. And when you're in a place of being powerless, you don't have the power you need to actually create and move forward. So, like I said, if you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, go back and watch last night's live stream about manifesting, and then this may make more sense. So we were talking about letting go, and I was sharing some recent reminders for me in manifestation, and where there's that place where you got to release the fear, and you can't hold on to how things show up, right? Like they're gonna show up however they want to show up. But does that mean you just sit back and do nothing? No, that's not what that means. And we have this tendency with the energy right now, which is why I want to really be clear about this. We have a tendency to be really very much in this dreamy place, where we're imagining how things are going to, resolve themselves without taking action. And if you get lost in that dreamy place, you actually are in avoidance. So let me get into that a little more clearly. But first, hi Dee Dee, hi Amy, hi Lisa, hi Tina, hi Lisa Parsons, hi Bernie, hi Aliciana. Nice to see all of you guys. All right. Hi Zahora. Hi Angela. You guys are still coming in. That's cool. All right. So let me give you an example. And first clarify, what is this energy of, why are we prone to just go off into dreamy land and just imagine things and how they're going to work out and just put it out there? How come that's there? Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces. Neptune rules the imagination. Neptune rules vision. Neptune and Pisces too. Pisces is the psychic sign. It's the creative sign. It's the imagination and artistic, and it's always like it's a water sign, so very emotional. But Neptune's kind of way out in the dreamy landscape, right? Doesn't like to be in third dimension. Hi, Laura. Hi, Lisa Campbell. So there's this because of where Neptune is and how it's interacting with the other planets, and each one of you are going to have this in a very different way, but just overall, it is affecting all of us. We have this tendency to want to imagine things and just, think about possibilities. But then we have Saturn in his home sign, and I've talked to you guys about this. of Capricorn. And Saturn is the disciplinarian, it's the authority, it's responsibility. Capricorn is about being responsible. It's about upholding your responsibilities. It's about, business and finance and taking care of things. And then Mars went into its home sign of Aries, taking action. So we have like all of these things that are saying it is time to move forward, and Jupiter's in its home sign of Sagittarius, which is very optimistic, and it's blending with that Neptunian energy of dreamland, of hopes, of optimism. It's expanding that imagination of how things are going to get handled. You don't want to get lost in the dreamy place. Like we all have that tendency right now. And sometimes, you know, it's easier to think about the possibilities of what might materialize, of what we can accomplish, about how a problem is going to be resolved, but then we don't take action. And if you don't take action where you can with the next logical step, you begin to go into a place of avoidance. And yes, living in a fairy tale. Absolutely. Thank you, Laura. So it's that place of let's just, I did this when I was in my 20s, and I think I've shared about this in live streams before. I got really good at manifesting money when I was single parent, and I was, going through all sorts of things, and I had a great job, but it just wasn't enough. Like I'd gotten behind on some things, and it seemed like I kept getting into this place with my bills where they stressed me out, and I had this mindset, right, that I was always going to be behind. And I had a full-time job, and I'm a single mom taking care of my kid, and daycare was super expensive. I think I paid like $800 a month back then. And I lived in Southern California, I lived in San Diego, and it got to the point where bills would come in and there wasn't enough check to cover it at that moment. And a lot of times, instead of just looking at what I needed so that I could ask the universe and look for opportunities of how to solve it, it went into a box that I hid from myself in a cupboard. Like, I put the bills when they came in the box, put the box in a cupboard where I didn't have to look at it. That's avoidance. Like, that's not going to get that handled. I didn't even know how much I owed, like, at any given moment. I was just focused on trying to make it work, like really just trying to make it work. And at one point, Spirit, was working with me with manifesting and stuff, and said, pull all of them out. Stop hiding from it. Stop avoiding it. We can't help you or guide you to the solutions if you're not willing to even look at what needs to be met here. So I pulled the box out, took all the bills out, stacked them in order of priority, and started writing down all of what the totals were. And then totaled it out and put, I highlighted all the absolute due dates and began, right, going through the process of paying one by one. And each time I did, and this is where what I talk about in Charm Life too, like each time I would pay a bill, instead of freaking out about how little was left in my bank account each bill I paid, I'd send the bill out as I'm, licking the envelope and placing the stamp on it way back before the internet. And I would say, thank you that I get to pay this bill with 100-fold return, right? And I'd leave all that out until I had the money and all of it was paid. All that stuff got cleared a lot quicker than I thought it was going to get cleared. But hiding from it made it worse. Overdrafting on your bank account and not paying attention and just ignoring all of that. Now you're paying fees on top of that. That's avoidance, right? Like, handle your business, handle it. And with Capricorn in Saturn, or Saturn in Capricorn right now, it's stuff like that we have to be on top of. It's good to have dreams and goals. I was talking to one of my friends today too, a couple of them actually, and both of them single moms, right? And one of them in particular, we were talking about our kids and our adult children and stuff. And the one thing that I know is very different with children nowadays, like our adult children, they don't have the same pressing stuff that we had. I don't know what it is with the way that the generations have shifted, but as a young single mom, there were times when I worked 2 and 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. And I wasn't getting child support. Hell, I didn't get child support on my first daughter until she turned 19. I've got back child support, and it was like $125 a month anyways. Like, it never went up because we never knew where he was. So I couldn't rely on anybody else. I didn't go to my parents for help. I didn't, not that they would have helped me. Maybe my dad would have, but it wasn't that place where I could rely on anybody else, right? So when Spirit began to teach me how to stop avoiding my fears, and the fear was, I'm afraid I can't pay these bills, right? So I just hide all of them. Just hide all of them. And it just makes that problem grow, right? Spirit taught me to appreciate, taught me to say, it feels good to be able to pay my bills. Absolutely. And it really does go bless the people that work for those companies for paying those bills. But I know a lot of people are very resentful when they have to pay their electric bill, and they have to pay their propane bill, and they have to pay their water bills, and they have to pay their phone bills. But you know, it's employing other people. You're putting it back out. You're circulating that abundance out into the universe again, and then it comes back to you. Before I understood all of that, right? And I was first learning how to manifest and learning how to have faith. You can have faith, right? Trust that something is going to work out, but it doesn't mean you don't go looking for opportunity. It doesn't mean you sit at home and wait for something to drop in your lap. You have to actively participate in finding a solution, which is very different than what a lot of people do that have learned about the law of attraction. They're like, I'm just going to sit at home and wait for it to drop in my lap. If I did that, even now, I would be homeless. It's not how it works. You don't get to live in a fairy tale. I mean, you can, but there are consequences to that, right? That's avoidance. So, but when we release it, when we say, I need this is what I'm looking to create, right? You don't worry about how, right? You let the universe figure out how, but you still take action to move towards the solution. It may take 4 different things before finally this brilliant, insightful thing comes up. Synchronicity comes into play, and because you've already been walking towards the solution, that solution, it's making its way to you, then you hit the rendezvous point. That's what that's about with the law of attraction and the way that universal law works with manifesting. It doesn't mean you sit and you avoid things, right? So that means if you need a pile of money and you're a single mom like I was back then, and you've got some expenses that have come up, you don't go into the negative space, and there's no way this is going to be taken care of, right? You look at what is possible. You know, many people will call me for readings and guidance and counseling, and they'll say, well, I need this and I need that, and you know, but my kids, I don't know what to. If I can do it as a single mom working 2 or 3 jobs, and yes, there were times that I didn't get to see my daughter very much, because I was working like round the clock, it seemed, just to keep the lights on, just to keep a roof over our heads. I did what was necessary. But when I learned how to really manifest in such a way where the daycare would be provided and it wasn't going to cost me much, right? Like I exchanged some things with my friend who had a handicapped son. So she would take my daughter, then I would take her son and help her out with her daughter who wasn't handicapped because she couldn't run around because she had her son. We traded, didn't cost me anything. Spirit brought her into my life at the exact moment I needed her, right? But it wasn't like I wasn't willing to do something to have that need met, right? I'm so grateful to be able to pay my bills, to have comfort, to be able to feather my nest, working in the real world, lessons learned. Absolutely. So there were times though, you guys, like being a single mom is not easy, especially when you're not getting child support. I get it. And I've been there and doing it now for 27 years, right? I've been handling it and holding it down. But there are times where you're going to have to bypass things that you want in order to take care of your actual absolute necessities and needs, And it doesn't mean that the universe is punishing you. Sometimes it is about us just getting into alignment. Even today, look, I don't like cleaning toilets. I don't know anyone who enjoys that job, right? And I can sit here and I can daydream about ways my toilet's gonna get cleaned and how there's gonna be some invention like the iRobot thing that vacuums your house, which I really want. Anyways, but something like that that cleans my toilet so I don't ever have to stick my freaking hand in there and take care of that. But you know what? That's not going to get the toilet cleaned. I can sit here and I can complain about it and go, I'm going to manifest a clean toilet. It's not going to take care of it. I need to get in there and take care of that. There are things that we can realistically, logically take care of. The things we can't, like meeting the right employer, having the right opportunity, things that are beyond our grasp at any given moment is what the universe fills in. We still need to take action to walk towards those things. And we can't live in that fairy tale and think that we don't have to do anything. And that's what the difference is. It's that place of release the fear, right? This is what we were talking about last night. Like, I had the money to buy my daughter's tablet. It's not that I didn't, right? I had the money. I have it now. I actually have almost all my bill money for next month. And I probably do have all my bill money. I just like to have this big cushion. So I had the money. It's just because it was such a big expense and I didn't know when or if I was going to get my child support this month because I never rely on it. Usually it comes whenever he damn well feels like paying it. And a lot of times, especially Christmas or her birthday, he'll just pay it like the last week of the month, right? And for a while there, he was running way behind. But it didn't matter. I was like, I'm going to do this, Spirit. And if it means that something comes up and emergency comes up or my schedule lightens out to where I'm not making, money then I just have to trust that you're going to fill that in, or another opportunity is going to come up for work for me to be able to make that money to make up for spending this money over here. That's release. When we go, okay, I'm going to commit to doing this and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I know that all of my other needs are being met and I'm taking action. I'm working, right? I'm putting stuff out there. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm looking for opportunity and I'm actually, doing something with my time. I'm not just sitting back doing nothing. Then the universe answers and says, yeah, okay, let me fill that space. Let me fill that need. But like I said, you don't just get to sit and make decisions or spend a pile of money and then go, the universe is going to magically fill it in. I don't have to do anything. You absolutely have to do things. And I don't want anyone to ever think that you don't, right? We avoid things like taking action on things because we're afraid of loss of some sort, or we're afraid we're not equipped to handle it. Those are the very things you want to avoid are the very things you actually need to face. And it's usually not as scary or overwhelming as you think. And the point is, one thing at a time. When I see so many people trying to, they'll call me in crisis and they're like, I have this, I have that. Okay, slow down. Let's prioritize this. First thing, what's the first thing that absolutely needs to be taken care of? Handle that. All right, what's the next thing? Let's take care of that. You try to fix everything at one time, or you try and figure out a way to solve all of your problems at one time. Hell yeah, it's going to be overwhelming. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to go eat, you're going to go drink, you're going to go take a nap, you're going to do everything you can to avoid it because it's just too overwhelming. So break it down into small, easy tasks. But don't stop taking action. What's the next logical step? What can I do? So do I need to call, this bill that I owe and let them know it's going to be late? Do I need to find something to sell that I can put on the marketplace or I can put on eBay to cover, my overdraft fee or whatever? Take care of it. Don't run from it. The more you face these things, in that space of honoring your responsibilities, the universe comes in and goes, all right, you're taking action. You're moving the energy that way to solve your problems, and it comes in and it assists you. But it doesn't do it for you. I did not heal my cancer by wishing and praying and imagining. Yes, I did a lot of visualization. Yes, I did a ton of meditation and affirmation and journaling about being well. And I pictured myself on the other side of that tumor. But it doesn't mean that I sat at home and did nothing, right? I was doing all kinds of things unimaginable things to get my health on track. Meanwhile, still working every day. I didn't have the luxury of laying saying, I can't work right now. I'm too exhausted. I feel like throwing up. There were days I worked from my bathroom floor. Most days I was working from bed. I didn't have the energy to climb the stairs to get to my office, and I didn't stop. Right? Somebody had to pay the bills. That person was me. There was nobody else. And I wasn't willing to let everything slide. So I prayed, God, give me the strength every day to wake up and handle what I need. Condense all of my clients and my readings into an area and a space where you know that I'm going to be feeling good. And I don't know what time of day that is, but I trust that you will book those sessions in at perfect time. And you know what? It always happened that way. I'd end up, hi Cindy, I'd end up with calls right after I'd get wake up from a rest or a nap. I'd end up with calls right after I had to do a treatment that was taking up so much time. It's stuff like that the universe actually fills in for you. Someone would show up on my path with the perfect remedy at the perfect time that allowed me to heal, right? But I had to take action. I had to move it forward, right? So yes, you release the how. How are you going to bring this person to me? That's not up to you. You don't wait for and watch for the solution. You move towards it by taking action. Divine inspired action is the best, but sometimes we just have to keep moving forward, right? Keep moving forward, small baby steps. And as you push your own energy forward towards the solution to your problems, make the sacrifices that you need, let go of the things that you don't need to take care of, then the universe fills in the rest. And that's how manifestation's done. Any questions? Because I think that's where everybody gets confused too. Like, how do I know I'm not avoiding something? The one question I had earlier was someone that has a storage space and they're like, I can't afford to pay it. And I'm not calling because I don't have any money, because I know if I call, they're going to want to know. And it's like, am I avoiding it? Well, and you realistically understand that if you don't pay and you don't call and there's no arrangements that you can make, that you're willing to release the things in that storage, and that somehow, some way, whatever is lost will return at some point to you. And you're making that sacrifice because over here you have priorities, you have a child to feed, you have bills to pay that have to be done. That storage space, not necessarily, right? Those are decisions we have to make. I don't know how many times I had to choose to make sure there was food on the table and the lights were on in my home over going to the laundromat. So I wear the same clothes over and over again, just freshen them up. Back when I was a single mom working in corporate, and we can sit there and say, well, I don't want to have to do that. Nobody wants to have to do that, but we do what we have to do when we have children, when we have responsibilities. And with Saturn and Capricorn right now, it's that. What are you willing to do? Like, it's that father energy, that authoritarian energy saying you need to take care of business. And sometimes it's not comfortable. Sometimes it's like cleaning toilets. Nobody wants to do that job. You still need to get it done. You don't want things to be ruined because you're not willing to take the action and handle it, right? So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope that clears that up for you guys that have that, kind of what is avoidance and what is releasing, right? Sometimes releasing is simple. It's as simple as, allowing something to leave your life, allowing someone to leave your life. I know a lot of people call me for relationship readings and they're like, I don't want to make a decision right now. I don't know if I should stay or I should go. Look, if it's abusive, you already know the answer to that question. What are you waiting for? Right? Like, take the leap of faith and leave. And those are times when you take a leap of faith and leave an abusive relationship, the universe is going to catch you. Maybe it won't be as great of a lifestyle from where you're living for a moment. But then because you did it and you followed what's right in your heart, the universe starts to line up other things. But you can't have good things come to you if you're blocking the door with a bunch of BS, right? Like I was telling a client the other day who was holding on to a dysfunctional past relationship. She's like, well, am I going to meet somebody new? I'm like, you already have somebody. Oh, I don't want him. He's just an ex. I'm just playing with him. Okay, but he's actually standing, imagine this, at your front door and running interference if on an energetic level to where nobody else can come in. He's filling that space. He's blocking the doorway from someone new. Anytime someone new starts to come near you, his energy is actually running interference and he's chasing the new opportunities away. And because you're unwilling to be alone for a short time and to be clear with the universe and say, no, I don't want that dysfunctional one, you're allowing him to block the door. Move that crap out of the way. Let it go. And have some faith that the universe is going to bring the right person. That's how that works, right? You can't avoid making those decisions either, but something in your life wants to be let go of. That's what this eclipse is all about. Many of you have been feeling the intensity building towards Monday's full moon lunar eclipse. It's lining up with the North Node. It's lining up with what our true purpose is. So there's a lot of things that are blocking us from standing in our true purpose, from expressing our authentic nature, from fulfilling our soul's divine blueprint. Those things are coming up. They're coming up as triggers. They're coming up as inconveniences. They're coming up as questions. And we have to be willing to let those things go so that we can then stand in our full power. That's what this time is all about. I'm just the messenger. So, I'm trying to help you guys get through this stuff as much as possible. I do have openings in my schedule if you want to get a one-on-one with me, which we can clear a lot of stuff up like that, like super fast, get right to the heart of the matter. I put the link for Soul Fast 30 in the description of this video. Go check it out. If you are in a place of self-doubt and you're just like, I can't tell the difference between my ego and my true self, or you don't know how to move your ego and your negative self-talk out of the way, get into Soul Fast. It's $27. Work with me for a month on that. At least commit to that 1 month. You get it every time we repeat it. We repeat it on the first of every month. It doesn't matter what day you jump in. Those lessons continue. Every 30 days, we start again. Layers. You have to peel away layers and catch all the places in your life that your ego's keeping you trapped. But if you want to work one-on-one with me, just give me a call, set up a reading with me, right? Just click my schedule and get on a call with me. I want to help you guys. This is going to be an interesting time because we got all kinds of stuff erupting with the planet Uranus, making its energy known, which is the unexpected. It's a disruption, but it's revolution. It's change. It's transformation. Uranus, Pluto, they're all making a play right now. Saturn in its home sign, Jupiter in its home sign, Neptune in its home. We've got all these planets. Everything's moving direct right now. Everything's saying, hey, move forward. Hey, time to get moving. Hey, let's change things up. That's exactly what's happening on this planet. So anything that you feel like is keeping you stuck or unresolved right now, you need to push it forward just by taking one step of action. That's it. Take one step and watch what the universe will put that step in front of you, the next one step at a time. You don't get to know everything. Like there's so many unknowns right now that even us psychics are like, we're only allowed to see certain things. We all know something's coming. We all feel it. We kind of have an idea of the emotional nature of it, what it looks like in its full picture. We're not being allowed to see all clearly. And Spirit just keeps telling me, you have to learn to trust. Faith, trust, right? That's what it's all about right now. Learn your lessons and trust that the universe is going to catch you and direct you. And it will. I love you guys. I'll see you later.